What's going on, guys? It's Wrestle News Mania here, back with another video. In this video, we've got some exciting updates and breaking news from the world of wrestling, and you won't want to miss a thing. But before we dive into it, make sure to hit that like button, comment, share, and subscribe to Wrestle News Mania. And turn on notifications so you stay updated with all the latest content. And with that being said, let's jump right into the news. We're kicking things off with some huge news. WWE is cutting Raw to 2 hours before it's moved to Netflix. Emotional moment for Sami Zayn. Backstage interview featuring Dragonouv and a potential new Undertaker like Star joining the Wyatt Six. Hulk Hogan's assessment of Logan Paul's potential as a babyface. WWE Hall of Famer thinks about the controversial Star's future. And finally, news on WWE Raw viewership report. Alright, let's get into the news. WWE Raw cut to 2 hours before Netflix move. WWE has announced it is shortening its flagship Raw program from 3 hours to 2 hours after 12 years. The change will come into force from October 7th until the show moves from the USA Network channel to Netflix in January 2025. It's not confirmed whether the length will change again once the company moves to the streaming platform. The show, a staple of the WWE's TV schedule, has been 3 hours long since its 1,000th episode aired in July 2012. The time has long been debated among the WWE community, with some fans liking the option of being able to see more talent, but others feeling it dragged. WWE superstar Seth freaking Rollins has previously said it was obnoxiously long. WWE's deal with the USA Network was reportedly meant to expire in October. Viewers in the UK will also see the shorter version when watching on TNT Sports or the WWE Network. Wrestling fan Jonathan LG says he's happy they've taken the decision to cut it down. Sometimes there is too much of a good thing, he tells BBC Newsbeat. Sometimes it feels like you're watching the product for 3 hours, and this is coming from someone who's been a wrestling fan almost my whole life. It's necessary at this point to shorten it down. There's a lot of filler in there that doesn't need to be in there. In 2015, Chief Content Officer Paul Levesque, best known by his ring name Triple H, told the Stone Cold podcast that if I could change anything, I'd love it to be 2 hours. In 2022, Seth Rollins told the SI Media with Jimmy Traina podcast that he felt a 3-hour show meant everything gets stretched out. You've got to fill 3 hours of television. There's just nothing to be done. That's just how it is. So I think 2 hours is a beautiful number for a show, and I think it's easier to make everything mean a little bit more. But Jonathan also thinks there can be a downside to less time. Sometimes talent won't get to showcase. If there's a 2-hour show, there might be talent pulled from the show that otherwise wouldn't be able to show their skills, Jonathan says. It is unknown whether it will shift back to 3 hours on Netflix, but some reports in the US suggest it will. Jonathan feels the 2 hours until the end of the year can act as a trial. To see how it works, they have SmackDown, which is 2 hours. That never feels like you're watching for any longer than 2 hours. WWE star Sami Zayn gets emotional after Bret Hart's appearance on Raw. We all know that Bret Hart is a big name in the wrestling world. Being the WWE Hall of Famer, he had an incredible career, including being the recipient of the WWE Hall of Fame and winning multiple WWE championships. It was very difficult for a wrestler to share a ring with him, as it would always be a thrilling event. That's exactly what happened to the Canadian wrestler Sami Zayn in the last episode of WWE Raw. Zayn found himself in the middle of a heated argument between Hart and Gunther. We all know that Bret Hart is a big name in the wrestling world. Being the WWE Hall of Famer, he had his incredible career, which includes being the recipient of the WWE Hall of Fame and winning multiple WWE championships. It was very difficult for a wrestler to share a ring with him, as it would always be a thrilling event. That's exactly what happened to the Canadian wrestler Sami Zayn in the last episode of WWE Raw. Zayn found himself in the middle of a heated argument between Hart and Gunther. It is worth mentioning that Sami Zayn has always been idolizing Hart since childhood. But in Monday Night Raw, Zayn became part of the feud between Hart and Gunther, and that part became a thrilling and emotional moment for him. On the September 9th episode of WWE Raw, held in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, the crowd was excited and electrified to see Bret Hart making a dramatic return to the show and back in action against the WWE World Heavyweight Champion Gunther. The latter did not hold back his feelings, and even threw in a dig about Hart to stir things up. The heated encounter prompted Sami Zayn to step in and confront. You caught me at a really strange time because I'm feeling emotional, to be honest. I'm wearing this jersey, not because I'm a Flames fan. Everyone knows I'm a Canadian guy, but to honor Johnny Gaudreau, who tragically passed away. I don't know. It just makes you think about the time you have here and what you do with it, and to be able to share the ring with Bret Hart. He was my hero growing up. To share the ring with him in Calgary, The significance is not lost on me. So I'm in a really strange kind of headspace, said Sami Zayn. But listening to him talk also kind of lit a fire under me to hear him talk about what it meant to be a champion and a Canadian champion. Listening to him, I realized, man, we haven't had that in a long time, and I want it to be me. I want it to be me, he added. Zayn states that his goal is to honor Hart's legacy and follow the path Hart laid out for performers like him. I want to honor his legacy. I want to honor the template that he laid out for guys like me. So Gunther's got something that, as far as I'm concerned, it's on borrowed time because I'm coming. I'm concerned it's on borrowed time because I'm coming. I'm coming for the World Heavyweight Championship. Backstage interview featuring Ilya Dragunov. In a backstage segment, Jackie Redmond interviews Ilya Dragunov. Dragunov expresses his gratitude towards Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley for their help in his recent qualifying match. He mentions his ongoing issues with Braun Breaker, highlighting their unresolved rivalry. Breaker makes a surprise appearance, arrogantly claiming he's already defeated Dragunov and could do it again without breaking a sweat. The tension rises as Jay enters the scene, glaring at Breaker with undisguised animosity. Jay then heads to the ring for the night's main event, setting the stage for an explosive finish to the show. Hulk Hogan assesses WWE star Logan Paul's potential as a babyface. The naturally unlikable Logan Paul has been a heel throughout his entire WWE run thus far. However, now that Paul has taken time away from WWE after losing his United States Championship to LA Knight at SummerSlam, it's still undetermined when he'll make his return or if he'll appear as the same heel character again. According to WWE Hall of Famer Hulk Hogan, it would be in the company's best interest to make Paul a babyface going forward. You're a really good heel naturally, and what is so cool is you're going to make one of the best babyfaces ever when they turn you, because the more heat you get and the more they hate you, you're going to be an awesome babyface. Hogan gushed to Paul on Impulsive recently. Hogan compared Paul to Reigns, specifically referring to the original tribal chief getting cheered after returning to WWE this summer, and believes that Paul could receive that same reaction if they decide to turn his babyface. They're starting to cheer for Roman Reigns. Wrestling fans are very forgiving, Hogan explained. You know, if Chris Benoit can do the crap he did, and the fans still love him, they're very forgiving. I've made some major mistakes in my personal life, and they're very forgiving. I can't wait to see him turn you babyface. It's going to be great, but not yet. Hogan brainstormed the idea of Paul saving Reigns after getting attacked by the Bloodline, stating that he would instantly become a babyface if WWE decided to create that storyline. WWE Raw viewership and rating report. After WWE SmackDown wrapped up its time on Fox, WWE Raw started its new season with the September 9th episode that aired live from the Scotiabank Saladome in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Bret the Hitman Hart made a special appearance. Jay became the #1 contender to the WWE Intercontinental Championship, and the card for the Bad Blood Premium Live event on October 5th started to take shape. With all that said, how many people tuned into the USA Network to see the action unfold live? According to WrestleNomics, the September 9th episode of Raw averaged a total of 1,430,000 viewers, a 13% drop from the 1,652,000 viewers the September 2nd episode drew. This makes the September 9th show the second lowest viewed episode to air on the USA Network in 2024, beaten only by the January 15th episode that was headlined by the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match between Seth Rollins and Jinder Mahal, and the third lowest overall when including the July 29th episode that aired on Sci-Fi. The key 18 to 49 demographic dipped this week as the September 9th episode garnered a 0.45 number, marking an 8% drop from the previous week, and the second lowest of the year behind the aforementioned January 15th episode. The main reason for the drop in both categories is very simple. The NFL is back. The game between the San Francisco 49ers and the New York Jets dominated the ratings, and given that Raw will have to go up against the NFL every week until the end of the year, and at times against 2 games, these types of numbers may become a regular thing heading into the final months of 2024. However, the move to a 2-hour show on October 7th could potentially help the ratings from dropping even more. The Wyatt Six to add a 386-pound star. A character like The Undertaker joined too? The Wyatt Six are shaking things up in WWE with their electrifying segments and thrilling matches. Following their recent triumph in an 8-person tag team match against American Made on WWE Raw, they seem poised to harness this momentum forward. They could now set their sights on the biggest names in WWE. The 386 pounds monster among men might just be the final addition to the crew. Strowman used to be a part of the Wyatt family alongside the late Bray Wyatt. If Strowman decided to team up with them again, it would add a touch of nostalgia and enrich the storyline by showcasing their history together. Braun Strowman's raw power would add a new layer to the group, making them even more intimidating. It would be interesting to see how his character interacts with the others, and what kind of storylines could emerge from this new alliance. Overall, it could be a great way to revitalize Strowman's character and bring some fresh energy to the Wyatt Six. That's all for today's episode of Wrestling News Mania. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell to stay updated with all the latest wrestling news.